She walked in with confidence, but the security guard didn't think she belonged. 2 minutes later, he was on the verge of losing his job and begging for her forgiveness. The scene opens on a bustling, high-profile VIP event in the heart of New York City. The venue is a sleek, modern art gallery transformed into an exclusive party space for the evening. The room is filled with celebrities, influencers, and wealthy socialites, all dressed to the nines. Champagne flows freely, and the air is thick with the sound of laughter, clinking glasses, and the faint hum of a live jazz band playing in the corner. Enter Jasmine Carter, a 32-year-old black woman who exudes confidence and elegance. She's wearing a stunning custom-designed gown that hugs her figure perfectly, paired with bold, statement jewelry. Jasmine is a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist, known for her groundbreaking work in tech and her advocacy for diversity and inclusion. She's been invited to the event as a guest of honor, but as she approaches the entrance, things take an unexpected turn. The scene is set at the entrance of the upscale VIP event, where the energy is electric, but the mood quickly shifts as Jasmine approaches the velvet rope. Mike, the security guard, stands with his arms crossed, his posture rigid and his expression stern. He's the gatekeeper of this exclusive world, and his demeanor makes it clear he takes his job seriously. Perhaps a little too seriously. As Jasmine steps forward, her confidence and elegance are unmistakable, but Mike's initial reaction is one of skepticism. He looks her up and down, his eyes narrowing slightly, as if he's already decided she doesn't belong. Mike. Gruffly. Name? Jasmine, unfazed by his tone, responds with a polite smile, her voice calm and composed. Jasmine. Jasmine Carter. I'm on the guest list. Mike scans the list on his tablet, his brow furrowing as he scrolls through the names. His expression hardens, and he looks up at her, his tone dripping with doubt. Mike. I don't see you here. You're gonna have to step aside. For a brief moment Jasmine's smile falters, but she quickly recovers, refusing to let his dismissiveness rattle her. She maintains her composure, her voice steady as she responds. Jasmine. There must be a mistake. I was personally invited by the host. Could you double-check, please? Mike shakes his head, his impatience evident. He's clearly not interested in entertaining her request, and his tone grows more dismissive. Mike. Look, lady, I don't have time for this. If your name's not on the list, you're not getting in. Move along. His words are sharp and final, and the crowd nearby begins to take notice. Whispers ripple through the air as people turn to watch the exchange. Jasmine's cheeks flush with a mix of embarrassment and frustration, but she refuses to back down. She knows she belongs here, and she's not about to let someone else's assumptions dictate her place. The tension between them is palpable, a silent battle of wills playing out in front of the growing audience. Mike's body language is defensive, his arms still crossed, while Jasmine stands tall, her posture radiating quiet strength. The contrast between them is striking. Mike, the gatekeeper, is rigid and unyielding. Jasmine, the guest of honor, is graceful but unshakable. This confrontation isn't just about a name on a list. It's about assumptions, biases, and the way people are often judged based on their appearance. Jasmine's calm insistence challenges Mike's authority, forcing him to confront his own preconceptions. The crowd watches intently, the outcome of this exchange hanging in the balance, as the scene sets the stage for the dramatic turning point that follows. The tension at the entrance of the VIP event is palpable. Jasmine, standing her ground with quiet dignity, faces off against Mike, the security guard, whose dismissive attitude has created an uncomfortable standoff. The murmurs of the growing crowd add to the unease, and for a moment, it seems like the situation might escalate. But just as Jasmine is about to respond, a commanding voice cuts through the noise, instantly shifting the dynamic. Evelyn Monroe, the host of the event and a powerhouse in her own right, strides toward the entrance with purpose. Her presence is magnetic, and the crowd instinctively parts to let her through. Dressed in an elegant gown that exudes sophistication, Evelyn radiates authority and confidence. She doesn't even glance at Mike as she approaches Jasmine, her face lighting up with a warm, genuine smile. Evelyn. Jasmine, there you are. Evelyn's tone is filled with relief and excitement, as though she's been searching for Jasmine all evening. She pulls Jasmine into a warm hug, completely ignoring Mike, who stands frozen, his earlier bravado crumbling under the weight of the moment. The crowd watches in stunned silence, the power shift undeniable. Evelyn turns to Jasmine, her arm still linked with hers, and says, I've been looking everywhere for you. Come on, darling, let's get you inside. We have so much to discuss. Her words are light and cheerful, but there's an underlying edge that makes it clear she's not pleased with what just transpired. Mike, now visibly flustered, tries to interject, his voice shaky and uncertain. Mike. Ma'am, I didn't realize she was with you. Her name wasn't on the list. Evelyn's expression hardens as she turns to face him. Her eyes narrow, and her tone becomes icy, each word deliberate and cutting. Evelyn. Her name wasn't on the list because she's my guest. Do you have a problem with that? The question hangs in the air, heavy with implication. Mike swallows hard, his face pale as he realizes the gravity of his mistake. He stammers, trying to find the right words, but Evelyn doesn't give him the chance. Evelyn. You should be. Jasmine is one of the most important people here tonight. I suggest you apologize to her immediately. Her words are firm and unyielding, leaving no room for argument. Mike's confidence is completely shattered, and he knows he has no choice but to comply. The crowd watches in silence, the tension reaching its peak as the focus shifts back to Jasmine, who stands calmly beside Evelyn, her poise unwavering. This moment marks the turning point in the story. Evelyn's intervention not only highlights Jasmine's importance but also exposes the bias and assumptions that led to the confrontation. It's a powerful reminder of the impact of standing up for what's right and the importance of treating everyone with respect, regardless of their appearance or background. The stage is now set for Mike's apology and the resolution that follows, but the shift in power dynamics is undeniable and unforgettable. The atmosphere grows heavy as all eyes lock onto Mike, the security guard, who now stands awkwardly in front of Jasmine. His earlier bravado has completely evaporated, replaced by a visible sense of shame and discomfort. His face flushes a deep red, and he struggles to find the right words, his voice trembling as he begins to speak. Miss Carter, I'm so sorry, he stammers, his tone pleading. I didn't mean to. I didn't know who you were. Please forgive me. The crowd around them is silent, the weight of the moment pressing down on everyone. Jasmine remains calm and composed, her expression thoughtful as she studies Mike. She doesn't rush to respond, allowing the gravity of the situation to sink in. When she finally speaks, her voice is steady but firm, carrying a quiet authority that commands attention. It's not about who I am, she says, her words measured. It's about how you treated me. You assumed I didn't belong here because of how I look. That's not okay. Her tone isn't harsh, but it's direct, cutting through the tension like a knife. Mike nods repeatedly, his head bowed in remorse. He knows there's no excuse for his actions, and his body language reflects his regret. You're right, he admits, his voice barely above a whisper. I was wrong. I'm really sorry. The sincerity in his voice is palpable, and for a moment, the crowd seems to hold its breath, waiting to see how Jasmine will respond. Jasmine takes a deep breath, her gaze softening slightly as she considers his apology. She knows this moment is bigger than just her, it's about accountability and growth. I accept your apology, she says finally, her tone warmer but still firm. But I hope this teaches you to treat everyone with respect, no matter who they are or what they look like. Her words are a gentle yet powerful reminder of the importance of fairness and dignity. Mike exhales, visibly relieved, and nods again, his gratitude evident. Thank you, Ms. Carter, he says quietly. I'll do better. I promise. The tension in the air begins to dissipate as Jasmine offers him a small, forgiving smile before turning to join Evelyn. The crowd slowly returns to their conversations, but the impact of the moment lingers, leaving a lasting impression on everyone who witnessed it. As Evelyn gracefully loops her arm through Jasmine's, the two women step past the velvet rope and into the heart of the VIP event. The crowd, which had been watching the tense exchange moments earlier, now parts respectfully to let them through. The energy shifts instantly, gone is the tension from the entrance, replaced by an air of celebration and admiration. Evelyn, ever the gracious host, begins introducing Jasmine to a circle of influential guests, each one eager to meet the woman who has just commanded the room with her poise and strength. Jasmine, now fully in her element, engages with the guests effortlessly. Her warm smile and confident demeanor make it clear that she belongs here, not just as a guest of honor but as a leader in her own right. The incident at the door feels like a distant memory as she discusses her work in tech, her philanthropic efforts, and her vision for a more inclusive future. The guests hang on her every word, their respect for her growing with each passing moment. Meanwhile, back at the entrance, Mike stands at his post, his usual stern expression replaced by one of deep reflection. He watches Jasmine from a distance, his mind racing as he replays the encounter in his head. The weight of his mistake settles heavily on his shoulders, but it's accompanied by a newfound understanding. For the first time, he truly grasps the impact of his assumptions and the importance of treating everyone with dignity, regardless of their appearance. Inside the venue, the party is in full swing. The jazz band plays a lively tune, the champagne flows freely, and the room buzzes with laughter and conversation. Jasmine, now surrounded by a group of admirers, occasionally glances toward the entrance, her gaze lingering on Mike for a brief moment. She offers him a small, forgiving smile, a silent acknowledgement of his apology, and the hope that he'll learn from this experience. The camera pans out, capturing the vibrant scene, the glittering chandeliers, the elegantly dressed guests, and Jasmine at the center of it all, radiating confidence and grace. The final shot lingers on Mike, who stands quietly at his post, his expression a mix of regret and determination. It's clear that this encounter has left a lasting impression on him, one that will shape his actions moving forward. As the screen fades to black, the message is clear. True strength lies not in power or authority, but in the ability to admit mistakes, grow from them, and treat others with the respect they deserve. The resolution is not just about Jasmine's triumph but about the potential for change in even the most unexpected places.